In our society, we praise people who are unshakable, hyper-independent, and always there for others. But psychology suggests that these aren't always personality traits. Often, they are survival mechanisms rewired into the brain during a difficult childhood. If you grew up in an environment where you had to be the strong one before you were ready, your greatest strengths might actually be signs of unresolved trauma. Here are 7 signs your strength is a survival skill that never turned off. Sign 1. Hypervigilance. Reading the room. Do you notice a shift in someone's tone or facial expression the second it happens? While others call this emotional intelligence, psychologists call it hypervigilance. When a child grows up in an unpredictable or unsafe home, the brain learns to scan for emotional danger to stay safe. As an adult, you don't just read a room, you scan it for survival. Sign 2. Defensive self-reliance. If you find it physically uncomfortable to ask for help, you may be practicing defensive self-reliance. Trauma often teaches children one lesson early: rely only on yourself. You aren't independent because you want to be. You're independent because your brain adapted to a world where support wasn't consistent. To you, depending on others feels like a risk, not a comfort. Sign 3. The emotional caretaker. Burden. Do you feel a deep, crushing need to keep everyone around you happy? This is often a result of parentification, where a child is expected to manage an adult's emotions. You learned early that keeping others stable kept you safe. Now, you feel guilty or responsible when someone else is upset, even if you did nothing wrong. Sign 4. The inability to relax. For some, a quiet afternoon feels wrong or unearned. If your nervous system was wired in chaos, calm feels temporary and silence feels dangerous. You stay busy because your body is waiting for the next drop. You only feel useful when you are needed, because rest was a luxury you couldn't afford as a child. Sign 5. Guarded empathy. You are the person everyone comes to with their problems because you listen without judgment and sense unspoken pain. But while you absorb everyone else's weight, you rarely show your own struggles. You learned early that your emotions were inconvenient or unsafe, so you carry your strength quietly and alone. Sign 6. Split maturity. Psychology explains that when emotional development is rushed, parts of you mature early, while others remain unmet. On the outside, you are wise, serious, and responsible, but on the inside, you may feel confused or emotionally unfulfilled. You have the skills of an adult, but you are still carrying the unmet needs of the child you weren't allowed to be. Sign 7. Guilt for needing support. Finally, you might feel a deep sense of guilt for needing attachment. Early responsibility creates a belief that if you are being taken care of, you are burdening someone else. You apologize for wanting support and feel foreign when receiving care, often minimizing your own needs to ensure you don't take up too much space. Psychology is clear. These traits helped you survive a world that was too heavy for a child, but you don't have to stay in survival mode forever. Healing means realizing that you are finally allowed to rest, to be soft, and to be cared for. Which of these strengths do you find yourself carrying the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to keep decoding the truth behind your mind.